So back in the 50s, there was a cool little car company called Kaiser-style, and they built some really nifty stuff. Look up the Kaiser Dragon if you have nothing else better to do. I'd like to build a derelict one of those one day. But anyway, Mr. Fraser bailed and Mr. Kaiser was left on his own, and he realized it was going to be tough going. You know, it was the time where the big conglomerates, the big three, were really starting to kick some ass. And he decided the only way he might be able to survive is to pair up with another little guy. So he started trying to create a merger between Willis Overland. He succeeded, and the new company was called Willis Motors. One of the first things that that team did was to have the wisdom to continue working with the legendary designer Brooks Stevens. So Mr. Stevens designed this magical vehicle. Now, a cool thing about this is that this Wagoneer model was made all the way from, I think it was 1963 up until 1991 with these same style themes consistently all the way through. Now, like most car companies, as the years went by, the economists got stronger, the pencil pushers had more control, and they just slowly started chipping away. So when one of my favorite customers that we've built several vehicles for, when he came to me and said, hey, I want something for this particular beach house, and he explained the locale, showed me the property, I started really getting my head around it, and a Wagoneer was just perfect. It's just Americana at its finest, right? So we settled immediately on a blue Wagoneer. Now, I've had a little bit of experience with the later Wagoneers, like the ones from the 80s up to like 90, 91. And I know they've got like this huge cult following, and no one wants to hear anything but that they're perfect and gorgeous. I think they're gorgeous, but man, do they have a lot of plastic in them. And the chassis is just loose as spaghetti. So when we set out to do this, I said, you know what, the one we need to find is the Kaiser era example, because not only are they built much stronger and thicker metal and no plastic really, very little, but they have that lovely front grille that's that hunched, moving forward, really masculine and aggressive design. So that's what we did. So we tracked down this vehicle, we found it on good old Craigslist, we brought it in and we had at it. So as always, we worked with our buddy Art Morrison. So the chassis is a 1-of-1. It's 2x4 into 2x6 mandrel bent the hard way rails, beautifully welded, and then it's epoxy powdered and then black sealer coat, military spec 2 powder coat finish. Suspension on this one robbed a lot of the architecture and experience from our Bronco. So we're running a radius arm front and a triangulated 4-link rear. We're running our beloved Fox Racing shocks and Eibach coils. For steering, we're running a PSC power steering box. For powertrain, we're running the lovely LS3, putting out about 420 horse. That is sending power through to the 4L85E 3/4 ton automatic, which in turn sends its power on to the Atlas 2 twin stick, shift on the fly, part-time 4-wheel drive transfer case. That mouthful never ceases to crack me up. 1310 U-joints, overbuilt shafts, carrying on to the axles by Dynatrac. So we're running a Dana 60 Pro Rock high pinion in the rear and a Dana 44 high pinion in the front. On the outer ends of those axles, you will find the Icon Sport brakes by Brembo, and those are hydro boosted. Then the wheels. You have the Icon 6061 CNC billet wheels. Those are finished in the body color in an effort to minimize their size. The hubcaps are eBay scores, new old stock, old Jeep hubcaps, which is perfect for it. On the exterior, any mods that we did were super subtle. So the body color is correct for the era, but totally not correct for the truck. That's kind of part of the fun to me, because I love German automotive colors from the 50s. And there's something about the sort of smoky pastel color tone of that era that just works so well in such a range of vehicles. So that's where we started, and then we blended, added a dib of this and a dab of that to come up with this color, and real happy with it. The wood paneling, although correct in general style for the year, is not the right wood for the year. We just picked what we liked. Same with bright work and trim. Some of it is bits and pieces from different years. The roof rack is original to the vehicle, so we simply restored that, put it right back up there. We didn't do the rear spoiler. I was kind of thinking maybe we should have. You know what I'm talking about, where they had a little wind deflector in the back? What do y'all think? Should we put one on there? Front grille, dead stock, gorgeous, just higher quality bright stainless polishing, chrome work than stock. This is all triple blue chrome, as they call it. Quite costly to do these days here in California especially. In the front, we simply removed the Jeep logo and replaced it with the spun pewter icon lizard. So it's branded icon in the front, very subtly. In the front fenders, the front fender badges again appear stock where it says Jeep and has the displacement, but they are not stock. Being that we changed the displacement, it's one of those things that would have just driven me crazy if we inaccurately represented the displacement. So we CNC'd those in-house to reference the 6.2 liter. Rear badges are stock, four-wheel drive badges or badge on the fender is correct. I thought we were missing one, but I found out stock, they only have one and only on one side of the vehicle. What's up with that? Whatever, kind of fun. I'm not gonna question Brooks Stevens. He's done so many designs that I love. Did you see the Willis Overland two-door wagon that we did years ago? Which reportedly Raymond Loewy, another hero of mine in design, played a part in as well. Beautiful, beautiful shapes. So let me think, that's it on the exterior. I covered the mechanical. Obviously the electrical system is all in-house built by Mark Wallen, our electrical engineer, using all aerospace military grade connectors, cross-link wire, soldered connection points and butts, all top quality stuff. All the switches are modern units. The gauges appear to be stock, but are all modern VDO circuit driven units in the background. And that was all done custom for us by our buddy Shannon at Redline. The fascia on the instrument panel stock was plastic, and you know how much I love plastic, so we CNC'd that and anodized it. Went through a hell of a lot of work considering literally I had a tap on it to make sure it wasn't the plastic one because it looks almost identical, but whatever. Other than that, we left the idiot lights and the very simplistic fuel and temp instrumentation. In the middle of the dash, under dash, there's two idiot lights stock. We scored two more housings and then had all the faces done and re-chromed and restored the bodies. So now we have check engine light, which obviously they weren't really worried about in the 60s. Four-wheel drive function, parking brake, and also reminds you when your tailgate is down. Steering wheel, absolute money pit. We had to make the casting to recast this wheel, but it's such a cool design, I just didn't have the heart to change it. Steering column is a modern I Did It, custom for the vehicle, painted in the body color. We're running column shift. You may notice that the column shift handle, as well as hazards, turn signal, and tilt are not normal. What we did was the dash switches stock were like 3 or 4 different designs and 3 or 4 different colors or plastic finishes. We simply picked the one that we liked the most. We re-engineered it, designed it, CNC'd it. So now they're all chromed metal and it's the same design language from the window regular through the column stuff to all the dash switches. Stuff like that really makes me a happy guy. Also the escutcheons for all those dash switches now are CNC'd to mark their function indication. So you've got fan, temp, vent, headlights, wipers, and audio control. Audio control, rotary, off, click, on, click, excites the amp, and the Bluetooth function. So the audio is controlled simply through your smartphone. So no more head units that are out of date in a year, just totally invisible. You don't have any gacky visual interface to kind of jump the shark with the beautiful aesthetic of something like this. And really good audio quality thanks to the JL audio amplifier and the focal speakers. The speakers are integrated into the cargo panels. You'll notice that the grills for those speakers uses the same material as found on the dash where the stock AM radio would have been. In-dash AC now, thanks to vintage air. The vents for the AC system were kind of fun, and I was sitting in the truck with Johnny and a couple of the guys on the team like, where are we gonna put them? What are we gonna do? So the stock dash had 2 ashtrays in the middle. So they had this kind of cool architectural framing around them. So we simply took inspiration from that ashtray bezel, did it in CAD, modeled it up, and then we took inspiration from the slotted Kaiser vertical grill. That became the vent outs, and ta-da, you have a nice AC vent setup. We didn't do anything shiny with those because, the whole theme of the vehicle is very retro and under the radar, so those are simply painted body color, and to me they do a nice job of just not interrupting the flow of the dash. Center glove box, pretty funky, but actually makes a hell of a lot of sense, so it's a lot easier for the driver to reach, and we're able to keep that in most of its depth. Door panels. Again, great design, but kind of a cheap 60s execution. They were simply dielectric stamped vinyl on a chunk of cardboard. Fancy, eh? So I like the shapes and the lines and the quilting. So what we did again is take inspiration from those details, but then actually machine the metal details and then chrome them and polish them up. We lasered new fiberboard, marine board for the substrate, then we wrapped it in high-end vinyl and high-end woven fabric. We didn't do leather again because it is a beach truck. Leather would have just gone to hell in a hurry. So this vinyl's way more durable. The vinyl as well as the fabric both come from Knoll, K-N-O-L-L. They're mostly known for like high-end residential and like office interior design and stuff like that. But really good stuff. And the woven part of it, that came from their outdoor patio furniture line. So even more durable, so very, very good. For the seat patterns, again, we kept the quilted patterns and the basic layout very true to stock. In the cargo area, made it just a wee bit fancier. So the cargo panels are fully upholstered and foamed. And then obviously in the doors and the roof and the floors and the tailgate and the quarters, the firewall is all Dynapad and Dynamatted, so it keeps it super nice and quiet in here. Headliner looks to be stock, but frankly, I don't even know where it's from. I think we just pulled it out of a sample book and we liked it. And I've used this material before, it's super durable. What else? We added a power rear window, which this truck did not have, but it seemed like a good convenient thing to go ahead and add while we're at it. We added low output LED ambient lighting. Something I'm starting to play with, looks cool at night. Cargo area, the mats are removable. Then you have the polyurea. So if you're hauling dirty stuff or a lot of beach gear, you can save yourself from having to do a bunch of sand vacuuming. I just wanted to take the time to really get nitty-gritty on this. I knew from the first time I posted process photos on Instagram that you guys were right there with me and being really excited about this project. Appreciate your patience. I hope I got into the weeds enough to be interesting, but not too boring. you have any questions, please reach out to us. Old school, pick up the phone, 818-280-3333. The website, of course, is icon4x4. Instagram, icon4x4. Twitter, icon design. Facebook, icon4x4, or just little old me, Jonathan Ward. Thanks again for your time. I really appreciate your support for Icon. Be well.